The historically bad second weekend drop-off for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania should have been a wake-up call for everybody who'd been pretending that there was no problem with the MCU, who'd been ignoring all the disappointments in the box office, all the disappointments on Disney+, and finally coming to terms with the fact that there is a problem at Disney. But if that didn't wake people up, if the 70% drop-off didn't wake people up, well, I imagine this weekend will, where it's falling off even harder, about to be taken over the box office by Creed. In fact, it might not just be taken over for the number 1 spot. It has the potential to fall all the way down to number 4 in the box office in just its 3rd week of release. Look at these numbers from Friday. Creed 3, obviously with the big opening, you knew that this was going to be the number 1 movie in the box office this week. But then you have Demon Slayer as well, followed by Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, followed by less than $8,000 by Cocaine Bear. And keep in mind, Cocaine Bear was beating Ant-Man during the week. That's how pathetic it is. And what do we see the response is from Marvel? A lot of people coming out and saying, you know what? The fans are wrong. The critics are wrong. Everybody's wrong. We love this movie. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania writer refuses to listen to fans criticizing MODOK. They're wrong. And then, of course, you have the star of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the future of the MCU, Kang himself, Jonathan Majors, echoing those same thoughts. Despite all the negative reviews, despite a box office bomb that will lose money for Marvel, he says, you know what? I don't care if you didn't like it. Jonathan Majors doesn't care if you didn't like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The Creed 3 actor isn't about to be brought down by some bad reviews. It's pretty ironic, right, that Jonathan Majors is a supporting character, basically, in both Creed 3 and in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and the different ways that people are going to perceive these movies. Because there is no doubt at this point, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, it's going to struggle to make $500 million worldwide. The break-even point on this movie, at a minimum, a conservative estimate right now is $600 million worldwide. It's not going to make that. This will be lucky if it beats the first Ant-Man movie. It's already a pathetic failure for Marvel because it has no chance of getting to that break-even point. What does Jonathan Majors have to say? Let's look at some of these quotes here. Jonathan Majors, who plays the aforementioned comic book villain, isn't about to spend too much time dwelling on the negative reviews. Speaking to Anywire Screen Talk podcast, the Lovecraft Country star weighed in on the response. It doesn't change how I see myself, period. It's all data. I'm a performance within a story. It's just people. They have an opinion. You always have an opinion. I'm no fool. I know these people writing it. These aren't my Yale professors or my drama teachers. These are people who have kids and they have a perspective. They have a religious upbringing or lack thereof. They live in this town. They want to be seen this way or don't want to be seen in this way. I look at the aggregate and okay, 47, but what does that mean when you also got this amount of box office? Oh, well, you know what? I can kind of understand what you're saying, Jonathan Majors, because in principle, I agree. I don't really care what the critics are saying as long as this movie is successful. That's all that really matters. Unfortunately, it's not. This is a failure at the box office. This is a catastrophic failure for Marvel, and it's really not even close. This is what was supposed to be the kickoff for Phase 5. This was supposed to be your debut, Jonathan Majors, of the next big MCU villain. More important than Thanos, bigger than Thanos. This is all going to set it up. And it's bombing at the box office. So yeah, of course, you're just a guy sitting in front of a camera being directed. You can't really blame yourself for everything. But to be like, I don't really care. I don't care about any of it. It doesn't bother me at all. It's just data. That sounds a lot like all the other people involved with this story who've said, we don't care. We don't care what the critical reviews are. We don't care what the box office is. We're proud of this movie. Well, with an attitude like that, you can almost guarantee that there's going to be more box office bombs for Phase 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't think anyone thought it was going to be this bad. I thought the number we'd be looking at was Ant-Man and the Wasp back in 2018, $625 million. That to me, like that, if they got past that, it would have still been terrible and embarrassing, but it would have avoided disaster because at least they potentially made their money back. Now, it's not going to get anywhere close to that. Look at this flat line. Potentially could end up as the number 4 movie in the box office in only its 3rd weekend of release. Embarrassing for Marvel. And it doesn't look like anyone associated with this film really wants to take any responsibility for it. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.